What's up, disciples? Apostle here, coming at you with another warming up, and this one's gonna be a little bit different than all the other warming ups. I just invited Pred to a game right now, and he's like, "Hey, you want to warm up with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So he threw me into to a lobby with bots, and so I decided to record it anyways. I don't know. I need to switch teams apparently. Yeah, but anyways, I wanted to talk about something that I've gotten multiple times, a question. Basically, wow, I got owned. Basically, how I got my name. I wonder what he has these bots set to. Honestly, I've never played against bots, so it's gonna be different for me. But how I got my name. What a douche. He's using a... Why are all these bots using riot shields? But anyways, how I got my name. So let's start off with my first name, which was Hyperlight Ghost. You might know that if you've followed me for an extremely long time. That was my channel before this one. It was youtube.com/hyperlightghost. I still have it. I used it as like my backup channel. And basically how I got that, I was like 9, I think, when I made that, or 10, and I had just gotten into wakeboarding, and pretty much anybody that wakeboards knows the brand Hyperlight. It's one of the biggest wakeboarding brands that there is, next to like CWB and some other ones. But yeah, basically I just really liked the name Ghost and got into wakeboarding and got a Hyperlight board and just kind of threw those two together and created Hyperlight Ghost. So that's how I got that one. That was my very first gamer tag, but that was the first gamer tag I started YouTube with. And then what had happened with that was I had gotten into Call of Duty 4. I just started hanging out with Logan, and I want to kill all these guys. I just started getting into YouTube with Logan, our Predator, whatever you want to call him. He wanted to get into it, and he said he would buy me a Dazzle if I would get into it with him. And if you guys don't know, a Dazzle is it's like an HD PVR, but it's just the old school one. It's not HD, it's a standard def. And basically that's what I made my first videos with, was a Dazzle capture card. And then so we got into that, and we started really getting into YouTube and sniping and quickscoping after watching Grizz's montage. And we were talking, and we decided we wanted to make a clan, and our team, whatever you want to call it, and we called it M48-3. If you guys have followed me or Predator for a while, you know that's where we both started actually getting known with the whole YouTube thing and getting an actual fan base built, was as the M48-3 team. And I believe that it's still going. I believe Aowen's still the leader. I know Cables was at some point. But yeah, we got into M48-3, and we made M48-3, and then I didn't know what I wanted my name to be. I know I didn't want it to be Hyperlight Ghost anymore. So then I ran into some guy in like a random lobby, and I was talking about how I really needed to figure out what my name would be. And then the guy's like, "Why don't you just look at achievements?" And they usually have some pretty cool names for achievements. And then I did, and I ended up looking into the Oblivion achievements, which if you don't know, that's the game before Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls series. And I found an achievement called Disciple, and it was DISCIPLE, something like that. I think that's how you spell it. But then I ended up spelling my gamer tag, I think it was DECIPLE, and just threw an M48-3 in front of that, and that was my gamer tag for when I first started getting into YouTube. And basically that was my gamer tag for a solid like 2 years, something like that, for a while, a long time. That guy was just all up in my grill right now. But yeah, that was my gamer tag for a while, and then Predator ended up leaving for OpTic and joining OpTic, and I became the leader of M40. And after leading M40 for, I'd say a solid like 8 months to a year, I got invited into OpTic around. It was right before Black Ops 1 had dropped, and I'd been trying to get into OpTic for a while, and I mean I had connections in OpTic through Logan being in OpTic, and I knew Hex, and Hex knew M40 and saw how I was running the team, and basically I just got into OpTic one day. I'll have another video explaining how I got into OpTic at some point, but basically I got into OpTic, and since my name was already kind of built off of the M40A3, OpTic Disciple was taken, the way that I spelt it, and the actual correct spelling of Disciple. And that kind of sucked, because I mean I wanted to keep Disciple. And so basically what I did at that point was I just went on Google and typed in Disciple synonyms, and then Apostle popped up, and then I was like, alright, I like that. And then I looked at like the actual meaning of it, and it meant the messenger. And yeah, if you didn't know, Apostle means like a messenger of God, basically. Like Jesus is 12, or is it 12? I don't know. I'm not very religious if you watch my religious commentary, but yeah, I know it's like a messenger of God, basically, and I thought that was cool. So basically, that was how I found Apostle, was just through Google searches of my old gamer tag. And I mean, it's not the craziest way to come up with the name, but it is a little bit interesting, and I got a couple comments saying that you guys wanted to hear that, so I figured why not say it in the warming up and just make a little commentary about it. But anyways, that was all I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna keep killing bots for a little bit, and anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a good day. Peace out, guys.
MQ-27 Dragonfire ready for launch.